Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the C Weekly, back again for some more C news, results and upcoming events. First up this week, we're going to start with the previous results from the previous week, which we always do here. First up, we did have the Xerya vs Storm TCL game, which took place on Tuesday. It was a bit of a one-sided affair with Storm pretty much dominating Xerya Gaming, which is a bit unfortunate for us C players, but it's still the start of the season, still plenty of time for Xerya to make the playoffs later in February, I believe it is. So cheer them on, and they definitely have a lot of improving to do. Definitely with regards to the metagame, Taiwan players play a little bit different to the C players, and it caught them a little bit off guard, which is just generally what I'm taking away from the games. Also this week we had the Alt vs SPR show match to take place yesterday. I'm recording a bit late because I was watching it, so sorry, but that did take place yesterday, and Alt did clean up SPR pretty handily. But then the show matches afterwards, SPR got a little bit of revenge there, taking out Pick and Bilsko. So good on them for getting a little bit back there, but also well played for Alt for taking the event. Next up, we will have upcoming events in C. Quite a few events coming up in C over the next few weeks. First up, we do have the ACL qualifiers taking place in 2 weekends' time. We'll be in Brisbane, Melbourne, Sydney, and in Perth. They're going to be pretty good. Definitely great events to turn up to. If you are a StarCraft player in any of those cities, you pretty much should go to these events. They're going to be great fun. You can at least meet people from the community and qualify for ACL, which is looking like, basically we're trying to create it to be the biggest event in Australia for esports, for StarCraft 2, and esports in general, to be honest with you. Also coming up, the week after that will be the Arena Internet Cafe tournament. It will be in Adelaide. Quite a few very, very high level players are going. If you're in Adelaide, you should go to that because it's also your ACL qualifier there. So Adelaide, you'll have to go to that event. Kind of doubles up there. It will be weighted as far as points go because it is a very difficult event. It will be weighted a bit better for the local players. So if you're an Adelaide player, you won't get screwed out there. Don't worry about that. Also coming up in the next few weeks is a tournament. I'm going to hint at it now. Basically, it hasn't been announced yet. It's looking to be pretty big. I've heard wind of it, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm just saying keep your eye out. End of November, start of December. It's going to be a pretty big event, I've got to say. Just a little tip there. And also coming up in a few weekends' time, Masters Cup will be back again. Keep an eye out for that. It'll be the same weekend as the ACL stuff, but you know, I just don't want it to get overshadowed because it's a great event, and yeah, it should be good fun. And next up, we'll look at the player review of the week. Our featured player this week will be xGKingLight. He is a Chinese player living in Australia. His team is Xerya Gaming. His nemesis is Archaic MSI Death. Basically, those two players hit at all major offline events over the last month or two, I dare say. Most of the time, Light has got the better of Death, but you know, just recently, Death's starting to get his own back, starting to take a series off Light. So definitely a fun rivalry between those two players, and I love watching them play. Obviously, no bad blood there. They're actually quite good friends. Light was the only Pro player to qualify for the Southeast Asia Battle.net Invitational. He did place 5th/6th there, but considering the quality of players at that event, and considering the state of Protoss at the time, that's a very good showing from him. I mean, only Protoss player to go, that kind of shows, you know, how weak Protoss are at that point in time. He's been a very strong player at offline events since January. I remember his first offline event, I was there. He did win that event over Rossi, and since then he's always placed highly at these offline events. And I think I've said it like 5 or 6 times before, but winning these offline events is way more important than winning online events. Sorry. So you know, good on him for showing he's a high quality player and can deal with the pressure of those offline events. He also came second at NRG behind StarTale Ace. He did take a single game off Ace, but obviously Ace did dominate him. At that point in time, Ace was just like complete head and shoulders above everyone in the field, and it's no shame there. Beating a lot of good players to get second, and also winning $2,000. It was a while ago, but I've got to make mention of it because it was a pretty major victory for Light. I would like to see actually Ace right now come back to Australia and play in a similar type tournament. I'd love to see how he goes against our players now. Probably still a better player, but maybe the field's a bit closer. I don't know, just thinking out loud here. And finally, he also consistently performs very, very well in online and offline events. He's been playing since January in major events, and even since last year, and he's always been placing highly, unless he gets knocked out in the best of one, which every basically top-level player does. He's always going quite deep in tournaments. So well played to him, very consistent player, and let's jump into this week's replay. This week's replay is between Xerya Gaming's Light, who is the blue Protoss player here on Typhon Peaks. He's playing against the one and only FXOLucky, took second place at IPL 3 over in the US, a very, very strong Zerg player. Definitely keen to see him in GSL in the future. Lucky though going for a 15 hatch, and Light only going for the gateway first, so not able to cannon rush from here, and unfortunately for Light, he is going to scout Lucky last. If he scouted him first or second, he will be able to add the Forge on and cannon rush him, but decided not to. He has added the side main score, as you can see there, so deciding, you know, let's Light's not cannon rushing here. He just put a pylon down there to make Lucky panic a bit, but Lucky not taking the bait, letting his hatchery finish, and has actually cancelled his pylon there, Light. So Lucky not quite falling for that bait there, but Light adding on a robo facility here. This is kind of new. Not seeing many Forest players go robo straight up against Zerg players these days. Usually add on some gateways, expand first. But anyway, see this play from Light and see how it goes. Ling's coming forward here. Light picking off a few as our poked forward a bit here. Ling's with speed now coming forward. They're going to get the probe, and no, Light just chased it away. Some nice harassment here from Lucky, denying the expansion. Look at this, Lucky building a lot of Lings here. And moving forward with just 4 of them here. Perhaps trying to pull the army out of the ramp so we can get a nice surround with the rest of the Lings and clean it up. If you can clean that army up on the ramp, Lucky will basically have won the game. And look at him here, just sitting patiently at the bottom of the ramp. Light though slowly pushing out here. Here comes Lucky, moving forward. Light just get back up his ramp. This is a great force field there, blocking off most of those Lings, trapping his own Zealot out there, and gets the second force field down there. Does lose one sentry, but is able to clean it up quite convincingly there. More Lings coming forward here and going for it again. Another force field goes down from Light. Great force field. A second one as well, just to minimize damage on his sentries, and he is able to clean it up. Massive losses there for Lucky, and that's actually not a good spot to be in for him. He's denying the expansion, which is great, but not able to do any damage to that army. That sentry count is still quite high and able to get a lot of sentries back. And Light's 4 gates are down. And look at that robo. Remember that from earlier? Here come 3 Immortals from that. Light's been holding them back, not pulling them forward to help against this Ling aggression. Just, you know, being patient, holding back. And Ling's here are going to scout those Immortals, and he's going to be a bit scared now. Sure, Lings do take out Immortals, but they do a lot of damage. Here comes a nice flank though from Lucky, and we get a great surround. But look at these force fields from Light, able to completely box his own army in the middle there. Those Lings are not going to be able to do any damage. Force back. Pylon will complete, but there's not many units left in there. A lot of Lings still alive. When those force fields run out, will he lose his army? Light's going to be very careful here. Has to engage perfectly. Here come the Lings again. Great surround here from Lucky. Reinforcements coming in from the back and getting walked in though. A lot of Zealots there. I don't think Lucky quite has enough here. Light still has his 3 Immortals alive. They have not died. They deal a lot of damage as well, and a lot of Zealots are up. Force field goes down the ramp. Unfortunately, it doesn't block the ramp completely. Lings screaming in here. Here comes the drones as well. A lot of Zealots out here for Light. Can Light hold this and win the game, or will Lucky fending this off and most likely win the game for himself? This is very close, but look at these units dying from Lucky, and Light will take this game very convincingly there. Well played, and GG. Thank you for watching for C Weekly for episode 6. Definitely tune in next week for episode 7. Looks to be very exciting. A few announcements to come, of course. And obviously, if you want a player specifically to be featured next week, please let me know. I'd love suggestions so I can pick out a good player that you all want to see. And you know, if you are a good player and I haven't actually spoken to you yet, come and chat to me. Send me a message on Skype, on the forum PMs or something like that. And it helps me out. Maybe there's players out there that I'm not quite aware of or don't have contacts with. So help me out that way if you want to get featured. And yeah, we'll see what we can do. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.